So my why is going to be necessity. I never knew. I think I had the inclination, but I didn't know that I could do it. There's a couple key factors that played a role in me starting a business. One is the opportunity came about. I had a lot of administration experience. Like I worked in a pharmaceutical research company before starting the company. And I did a little bit of HR. So I worked under HR, did a little bit of accounting. So as Raya said, I studied architecture. And then once I graduated from UC Berkeley, that's when I started doing career exploration for me because I decided I wasn't going to continue architecture. And then I figured I don't want to continue doing what I was doing, came back to Laney. So the key people that helped me, that were pivotal, one of them was Raya. She's in the Manager Employment Services Center. And the reason why I say that is because there were resources within that service that helped me and guided me to start the company. One of that was Sparkboy, which is a program that I used to have. So they had, what is it, like a financial coach. And so there was a financial coach, there was a saving plan. So I was really struggling when I started the company. And my options were very, very limited. So it's like trying to figure out how am I going to get started. So it's like the first thing is what's in my disposal, what's actually right in front of me that I can start making. And so I had Carlos, who was a mentor to me, showed me literally like how to do every single aspect of it. I had the drive and the administrative experience. And then the second part was how do I finance a business? Like what tools are there, and got mentorship outside of whatever I was skilled in. And so pretty much putting all those together, like there was no more down to go. So that pretty much ended up triggering that opportunity. And here we are 6 years later.
Sweet. Same question for Shlomit. And I want to introduce her briefly, but Eating Appers owner, esthetician, and the Shlomit Skinology, the products, graduated Skylight College esthetician certificate program.
Me. Thank you so much for having me here, and I hope that my experience will inspire you to go into. We call it aesthetic, but it's a lot more than aesthetic. It's really part of wellness. It's really part of understanding how the skin functions, how we really truly treat it. We really need to understand. In my days, when I started 38 years ago, physiology was not as understood as it is today, and we continually expanding our knowledge about how the skin functions. So it's not just beauty, it's more than the eye needs. So why I got into it, because maybe deep inside I really knew that there's something more. It's something more is when it comes to skincare. It's something more than just applying a product on your skin. The products actually interact with skin cells. So I somehow knew it, that's what drove me to expand my knowledge, is that understanding and expanding it by expanding my education throughout my career. So if I would sum it up on why, I don't know why, I read a lot of things instinctively and understanding what's right for me and how I can share it with my clients and make the skin function a lot better. That drove me to having my own skincare line and my own formulation necessarily of the treatment that I give. I did very individual treatment to my client. I don't know if I ran all over the map, but you understand that there's so much more to cosmetology. You can go for years and years and continue your education, never stop, because that's how you're gonna grow, that's how your passion is gonna grow, and that's how you're gonna be successful.
Thank you so much. So we'll got to Linda Banderia, owner and actor of Casa Sanchez Foods. Linda Captain Robert P. Sanchez, owner and manager of Casa Sanchez Foods, a third-generation manufacturer and distributor of fresh sausage and tortilla jets now located in Aguiar, California. The company has over 130 employees parser and they're serving Yarina, California, with their by distribution throughout the country. So, what is yours like, and you'd like to share about your journey?
Good morning. I like adventure and I like different experiences. So this is my 5th career. When Kim mentioned that, I think it was where both of you, I think, and right, you got a degree. My degree is in civil engineering. I have a master's degree from UC Berkeley and engineering construction management. And yet I'm in the food business right now, manufacturing. But they all tie in together. Every career you deal with, one of the careers I consider is being a mother. Being a mother is a lot of organizational skill, volunteering at school, managing fundraisers, all of that goes into your resume. All that will help you in the future to manage employees, to manage the business, working with the banks, financial. So right now I handle operations. I've been doing that for 14 years at Casa Sanchez. And the why is that as a business owner, you have a lot of control. When I say control, you have a lot of control of what your company is going to do, how you serve the community, how you serve your employees. It's not a big corporation. You have to go and justify, hey, I think we should do this for the employees. The one thing when I joined the company was that we had to have health benefits for our own employees. We had to provide that. Because if I need them, my children need them, then our employees need them. So the why for me in anything we've been doing in the business is how do we get back to the community too? And I think it works both ways. We're successful each way. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Now, Melissa Ramos, owner, operator of M90 Guides Machine. Melissa's journey as a machinist began in 2016 at USFA Fabrications of Precision Sheep Item Company under guide matches in Aguiar, California. She caught herself with some guides for forgotten and other men's wears. It's been a very rewarding journey. You learn a lot about, It's been a rewarding journey to learn so much by own error, and it's only be a harm of passion about machining.
The reason why I started Michael Bay a couple years ago, to be honest with you guys, is my parents are immigrants, and I wanted something that would, I could support myself and potentially support my siblings in case something ever happened to my parents. I did not go to college. I don't have a degree, but through manufacturing and my company now, I've gone to travel. I'm able to support myself without going in the most expensive city in California. And I'm able to do this all by myself because I'm in manufacturing and I don't have a college degree. I highly encourage it. I'm also a content creator, and through that, again, I've gone to travel. I've gone to many incredible people, and I've gone to, places in the world that I never ever imagined that I get to go to. I'd really like to emphasize that I didn't go to college, don't need to go to college to do this. And I never imagined myself owning a company or making cards or doing what I do now.
So the business that we're in is 101 years old. As you stated, the third generation, my husband's third generation, our son is now working in the company, hoping that he will continue. So for us, we've been here a long time. We know a lot, so why don't we help the next people coming over? So we have worked with a lot of smaller business owners because they don't know how to approach a store. You have a great product, and we're helping them with, okay, you have to have quality assurance, you have to have certain certifications, but how to talk to that manager of the store? My husband has taken them several businesses to talk to, and some of them have gotten into the stores already. He took another family the other day to Whole Foods. They didn't know that they could go up to the manager and just talk to them and say, hey, I got this product. Are you willing to try it if I bring you samples and help me out? And sometimes it's that simple with little stores, started with some stores, helping them with distribution, ideas on what to do with distribution. There are a lot of programs. The city of Hayward, because we're in Hayward, we just went through a program where if we hired tech people that we were going to train, they would pay for the training. So that there are programs even throughout for us that help us out. Because again, things will happen. It's not, when somebody says, oh, they say, oh, she owns a business, and oh, I see your chips everywhere, I see your salsa everywhere. Trust me, just like you see that, there are problems all the time, but it's knowing who to go to help each other. We collaborate together. Mark, I want you to tell the group that I'm representing the AAM Bay Association of Manufacturers of the Bay Area, because we are a collective group helping each other, advocate for each other. And right now we're gonna try to get together and deal with tariffs. What the heck is gonna happen? Because we all buy products from other places, and we have a summit in April to again work together, help each other out. So when I started, there was a lot of information that I didn't have, but I reached out to mentors. So earlier I mentioned Sparkful, which was I have financial coach, and every week we met, and he was like, okay, this is my goal. So on top of personal, I was also sharing like this is the business that I want to do, and she referred me to like there's SBA, which has programs, classes. There's also legal clinics that the city puts together, which is how I structured my LLC. I was paired with a pro bono lawyer, and he pretty much broke down every single thing about like a business, a corporation. What's the difference of a sole proprietor, an LLC, an S corp? And I was asking a lot of questions, and there was multiple legal clinics that I was part of that I got to attend. And then also there's another organization that they referred me to, which was SCORE. And this is a national organization, and you get to pick your mentor based on qualifications. You can filter them out, but it was me attending a lot of resources that were free, that were put together by the city of Oakland, and reaching out to people that knew a lot more. Like again, the employment center. It's sometimes resources that are underused, but for me that was like key people. Just reaching out to mentors.
Yeah. So remember I said that knowledge is power in a way in my first answer, right? The second is community is power. So I had a small business for 38 years in San Francisco in the Richmond district. And I was fortunate to be married to a man, the husband, his name is Daddy Keller, who is such an activist of the small business for that district. Having been on the side, it powered me into resources, but I really never used it, but it supported the business, the small business community. So we have a community. We had him and other merchants are reaching out to the city, making us present in City Hall, etc. And really voicing the need of the small businesses. Right now, let me just say what I see that we need as small businesses, more of you. We need more of you, of the consumers, to come into small businesses more than ever before, because of what we have, the experience we experience since the pandemic. It really increases by so much online that we are really ignoring some ways the small businesses, visiting the small businesses. And for me, it's such a pleasure to see each and one of you coming to my store, the consumer, because you are my extended family. You are people that I began to know throughout my career, and I expanded my relationship with you, the consumer, throughout my career. So the community is my first, empowering me as a voice. And you are also my consumer.
Could you repeat the question? Sorry. Could you?
Sorry. I didn't.
What source?
Yeah, someone with this. When you don't know, you don't know. How do you break free from that? Like what actions you take, or like you mentioned, networking, flattery.
I guess for me, networking, coming to these events, and I have a small business, but I don't have any overhead, so I'm very fortunate, and I've never had to deal with the loads of stuff, and I don't even know how to go about it. I needed to do that, but for me, what I do, because I am in manufacturing, I guess some way to network would be I post online. I'm a content creator, and some of my videos have reached over 1 million views, and posting online is how I get the word out that I exist, or even ask for help, even if it might not feel like the best to do at times, because bullying does happen online, but reaching out and posting on every, social media, like LinkedIn and TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, is how I, network and how I ask for help.
So just in case, like for me, another person that was really key in my business was my banker. So like if you guys are ever thinking about starting your business or have one, build that relationship with your banker, because they have a business side to it, and just even knowing what products they have. Like whenever I've gotten loans from a bank, I've done different things, but also even like SCA offers a lot of loans. So then even having that relationship with your banker that can say, hey, we have this new product, I think you qualify. So like that's the kind of relationship that I built with my banker, and I was introduced to him through the program, through Spark Points. But just want to reemphasize that, like, keep in touch with people that might have more information.
Kim, could you kill the people that made up, SBAVs?
So the Small Business Association, so they have, yeah, small businesses.
Oh, what was that? I can't see it. Right there. Well, studies are showing right now that if you want longevity, you have to have friends. You have to share. You've got to be able to vent. And you can vent with business owners, like I said, the man crashers. Mark and I were on a call right before I came here, venting too, so it's fine. It's helpful. I have friends that are in the business, and I have friends that are not in the business, and that's also really, really good. Because the friends that are not in the business at all, the school friends from when my kids were in school, but we share other ideas, and then you forget about what you're dealing with, and the women, and in a women's group too, as CEOs, and we share, and I see them, and I go, oh my God, you're going through what? Okay, it's not as bad as I'm going through. Like, we also help each other. Again, having a support system is really good. Walking, doing other activities, having exercise, do something, get away from the whole thing for even a few minutes, because it's still going to be there tomorrow. And again, when you wake up tomorrow, it's step one. Get up, get out, and start. But that's it. It's not easy sometimes, but one step at a time, and have friends.
Thank you. I definitely agree with the longevity theory from you. And throughout my years as a business owner, definitely had a lot of ups and downs. And what do you do when it's down? You die. Things are really not lifting you up. And since I work as well in my clinic, one-on-one. Throughout the year, I've heard lots of stories of people who work in big corporation. I had lots of reps coming in with lots of disappointment with big corporation. So that always made me just so lucky to have my own business. Yes, I have the down. I can deal with it because tomorrow is another day. But the relationship that I acquire, that brings me up again. So basically what I'm trying to tell you as a small business owner, many times I feel that it's what we do, we're in control of what we do. We're in control of what we deliver to our customers. So we have so much more control than working for big corporation. Because if you work for big corporation, you really don't have the control. So that's what happens.
What do I do when I feel like I lose all hope, goes question rate, and as far as I now really like to take a hard, cold shower. Those points my dad is my best friend, and my boyfriend is also my good friend. There's often manufacturing, and I see them every day. So when I need a break, avoiding them breakups, going to a girlfriend's house helps. And sometimes just doing simple things like scrolling on TikTok or partying, honestly, like just the simple things like that and cooking at home really help. And coming back the next day, like the word, I work in a field where I will work 18 hours straight, is on sick for 2 or 3 days. But in those 3 days, I'll make more money than, most people. So it's worth it for me. But also, I am not sick for 3 or 4 days at a time. So I need that break. And when I take that break, I need quiet and I need just a long time. And if I'm making cards or if I'm doing something and I have to step away for an hour or two and just read or sit really far, I will do that so I can be level-headed. So taking a break and being alone definitely is very absolute.
So I think it's inevitable if you have a business. Obviously, there's going to be up and downs, just how there's going to be up and down in your personal life. I'm going to say this. A lot of it is going to be the experience is going to come with time. So like me and Katie, it's seasonal. So like 6 months you're making money, 6 months you're not making a lot of money or just barely breaking even. So like understanding what industry you're in, like you were saying family, like for me when I started the company, it was me, my mom, and my cousin. So obviously my mom had a lot of support. When we were struggling financially, it was like, well, I don't pay myself, I don't pay my mom, but the reward comes afterwards. And then understanding that industry and like, are you in it for the long run? Sometimes the industry will it'll show you, it's just maybe there's no forward. Maybe it's like rethink what you're offering, rethink what you want out of it. Maybe it's changing, shifting, pivoting. But if you do like it and if you're willing to work, because sometimes you do work days without sleeping or sometimes, and you do that even as a student, like when I was in architecture, when you were in finals, you were sleeping 1 hour a day for a couple of days and then you deliver on your product. So like, doesn't matter what you do. My experience is you're gonna see the ups and downs. It's just what is after, what is your 5-year plan? Who is in your community that you can lean on emotionally? What is your financial plan? If you already know that the industry you're in is cyclical, what are you gonna do in your downtime? Maybe you're putting money off and you're not touching it. You gotta limit yourself to your desire. Something's like maybe you want to take a vacation, but guess what? You're not gonna do it because you know in the winter you're gonna need that money. So just like understanding your own needs, getting that support, but understanding also the industry that you're in.
Thank you, everyone. And right before we continue, I just want to carve out some time to introduce Mayra, Aguiar, owner of Limitless Beauty Artistry, Lee, graduate in the house. Doctorate cosmetology, Mayra is well-known she's a well-known Bay Area makeup artist, the beauty and fashion industry. She's a professional licensed cosmetologist and a makeup artist, 15 years experience. So welcome, Mayra. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mayra. As she mentioned, I obtained my license here back in 2018. I was a student at the Casa Former in 2016, and pretty much I started. Sorry, I think See, I don't think it's just okay. So as she mentioned, I started my journey in the beauty industry here back in 2016 when I enrolled in the Cosmetology department.
In 2018, I graduated, got my license, and since then, I have done numerous things in the beauty industry. I have done film, runway, fashion shows, editorial, corporate. I had my work published over 40 different magazines worldwide. Some of it be Hardy's Bazaar, El Oficial, and Hip Living. And right now I'm kind of transitioning into bridal. But yeah, I mean, the beauty industry is a roller coaster.
One of the questions that we asked on our panelists was, what's your why? What is why? What's about your why? How did you get started? What were you first helping to start our own business?
I think my why mainly is my kids and my family. I wanted to set the standard, like the note that it's okay to follow your dreams and just go for what you love. I tried corporate, I tried retail, but it was never my calling, and I was never happy in the beauty in the industry, the work industry that I was in. So I wanted to be, set an example for my kids that you could do whatever you want in life as long as you just go for your dreams.
I'll ask you one more question. But I think congratulations, but thank you. Yeah, it sounds amazing. And that is perfect question for you because now, like I mentioned to them, it's easy to see your success. And you're like, oh, we do this is my life now. It's totally ordinary. But many years ago, maybe you didn't feel like that. And my question was, like, when you don't really know what you don't know, how you're carving it out, whenever times got tough, and there was a dating someone who was, you didn't know what the success would look like. What were those beginnings for you like?
It was a little uncertainty, obviously. Just, I think just what kept me going and pretty much kept me
Focus, as mentioned, it was my family. It was also looking back of
what it was like being in a career that I wasn't happy, just telling myself, it could be worse. It could be worse. And just, you need to keep going and you have to do it for your kids, and obviously in the beauty industry, any business, you just never, you hit that wall at certain times, but you just have to keep reminding yourself why you're doing it, what is the ultimate goal, and just get yourself out of there mentally, whether it's, pretty much turning, you need to also find your pack or your crew that you could turn to when you're dealing with those tough moments, and just have that community of others in the same industry to uplift you, like you're happy. Yeah.
I think like everyone in this room is clearly working on some skills, right? We're here getting an education,
And there are other soft skills that we get up along the way. One of my questions to you all are, what are some of those soft skills or skills in general that you had kind of look, right? There's a moment that we all look at ourselves in the mirror and say, like, I have these giant goals, right? And maybe I am ready for all of those giant goals. And sometimes we're like, if I really want to be, if I really want to educate, be a teacher, then I should learn how to STEAM, right? That is a skill that's going to make me a better teacher. What are some of those soft skills for y'all, or just skills in general, in your beginning days at Navy? I'm a person who doesn't believe in natural talent. I don't think it exists. I think we try our best, and eventually that talent increases and changes as we go along. But what are some of those skills that folks go away with?
John, so curious, look, pelos mis. Is it fun?
Okay, so what I want to share regarding skills. Regarding skills always grow. So you have to really look for them. Personally, I always, throughout my career, I always like to integrate healthy living, paying attention to our bodies, how live its function, support it. And it's the same thing with the skin. So I'm constantly, right now, in the past few years, I have more support in the integrative aesthetic field, which is the integrated dermatology. Look at this, integrating aesthetic with dermatology. That's where we are now. Before we can even look at that kind of a relationship. But now, whoever is in cosmetology have that opportunity because there is a group, this whole integrated dermatology, that accept esthetician. And they have a program. So once you graduate and you can reach out to them, you can jumpstart and become an esthetician in that field and it will empower you with so many other knowledge and techniques and how to approach the skin, how to approach your treatment. So for me, I'm now in my 70s. I asked 70 back. So I'm going to be 72 in April.
And
And this coming weekend, I am sharing this with you because I want to encourage you to search for knowledge in the right place. So I told you about the Integrated Dermatology Association. It's a group. It's a new group. I think they start before the pandemic. And I'll be attending their conference. And then there is, for many, many years, there's only one instructor at UCLA, at the UCLA Extension. And she is the only one that gives this class on cosmetic chemistry and skin physiology. If you're passionate, this is a class to go. It's a little expensive, but it's worth, it expedites your knowledge. It's bring you to different places, So, and otherwise, also, that's what I do in terms of my expanding of my knowledge. And these days, I definitely love to listen to podcasts and actually Learn Skin, which run by the Integrated Dermatology, has a podcast. Look for it. You will learn a lot of things. And in my classes also, UCLA, that's something separate. But I also attended every year, no matter what, and I did lecture also as well. And then cosmetology, it's a face and body show. And last year it was, the past 2 years was in Sacramento. It actually started in I don't know where it started. Mine started in Sacramento, then went to San Jose, and now we're back in Sacramento. Attending these shows also allow you to interact with manufacturers and allow you to go to classes and thereby the knowledge, continuing acquiring and really empowering yourself. Open yourself not to just study product line. Open yourself to study the biology, the skin physiology. So your decision as you are practicing aesthetic will be just the right wife.
Just a really quick follow-up also. You mentioned some of the courses being really pricey. You also mentioned podcasts, which are, I would assume, free. Is there any other resources that you've seen along your journey when it comes to financial assistance for estheticians or?
Slow down. Repeat your question and slow down. Remember what I said. I guessed it. Yeah, you know what.
So when it comes to the courses, are there any courses that you know of that offer financial aid or ways that students could, learn some of that without a heavy price tag that also rises?
Right. You don't want to jump to the UCLA and you don't want to go to the conference of the Integrated Dermatology right away. So their podcast, Learn Skin, is a great way to listen to, and you're going to add exposure to different physicians or innovators. But also the beauty show, the face and body, talking skin now. Okay, but usually sometimes the hair and the nails are adjourned, they're together. It just depends. So you go to the shows, and at the show, you take a lot of free classes that, of course, they run by each class. Let's say there are free classes that are supported by a product, but it doesn't make a difference. The physiology will change. You learn something. You're going to learn something when you just paying the price for the show, get in, go to the classes, and there are advanced classes, but then you have to pay. I don't know about agencies that give you, but like the show, like for you guys here, the Sacramento show, the face body is not very expensive to get in, and you will learn a lot of it. Thank you for that.
And then just as the middle of oftentimes, a lot of these conferences, whatever industry that it is that you're looking into, they oftentimes have like the scholarship version or a student rate. Some of them as well take volunteers. I've done that before, but I couldn't afford the entry to a show, so I decided to volunteer, and I was able to soak up the information that way. So I think part of that advocating for yourself and networking and just asking the questions, even if there's no form for a sponsorship, ask it anyway, right?
The contacting number somewhere. So that's nerd.
You know what I remember when I was in store? That my teacher, we used to go as a class. So that's another idea. I'm all right running.
Anyone else would like sharing particular skills?
I'm going to open a question. Yeah, I've been asked a question already.
I don't know if it's a skill or a habit, but one of the things that, like, first is what is directly in front of me? Like, what can I get? Like, what resources do I have at my disposal that I can put together? I guess that's a skill. I don't know. But
Yeah, resourcefulness.
resourcefulness, yeah. Because if you have an intention, even if you don't have the skill yet, and you're willing to put in the hours, you will develop the skill. And I think it doesn't matter where. It's like just the time will show you. And then there's some people like that naturally have an inclination, like maybe they're better at talking to people, maybe they're better at organizing things, maybe they're better in finances. So like you will build your team as you go. Like, so if you're starting your company and you say, okay, now this is what the company needs. If you don't have it right in front of you, so then you're it, right? You got to figure it out. But as you start developing it more, then you start putting people with those skill sets that will help you grow your business or even grow yourself.
Eddie Wolves. All alike, y'all. So, but
Also, what I have learned the end of the industry is that you never stop learning. Like, there's always this trends, all these new things coming up. So my advice to you is network. What has helped me as well. I have done fashion shows too, where I use that time to even practice new skills, any new stuff that I have learned. So never stop learning. There's a lot of, great, pretty much, you could find knowledge anywhere, right? There's TikTok now that you could learn skills. There's YouTube. I often even, if I want to try a new product, even now as a professional, I would do my research. I'll go to YouTube, see how the product works. I'll go into Sephora, test it out on myself, test it out in different clients. And I'm always trying to learn to pretty much be able to deliver great work, but using minimal product, which means using versatile products that you would, get the work done a lot faster, that I could probably use one rather than using 3 things that would give the same impact for the skin. So my biggest advice to you guys is just never stop learning, network. And that's the way that you will meet, like she said, you'll meet your team. And from there, everything is limitless.
So communication. Communication is the key to one of the things that has helped every business. If you're starting a business, what are you going to try to communicate to your customer? Who is your customer? Learn how to talk to them. And you guys mentioned the banking. If you don't know what you're talking about with a bank, you're not going to get the loan. So you need to know exactly how to talk to the bank, what you're going to tell them
talking to your employees, talking to any team members, any collaborators. So communication is important because you have to keep everyone informed and you have to keep yourself informed in organizational skills. When you start your business, you are there. You mentioned it, Kim, you are it. You're the one that's coming up with your platters. You're the salesperson. You're the production person. You are everything. So if you are not organized, you're going to fall behind. You're not going to be able to do it. And again, back to communication as you grow your team. You need to know exactly how you did it, how everything was done before, so that the product is going to be the same quality product. Right now, with the salsa, when they started making salsa and chips, it was a few bags at a time. Now we produce 10,000 bags in an 8-hour shift and 30,000 salsas in an 8-hour shift. And they're all consistent. And that has to be through communication. The communication means training, means writing down the procedures, everything. But anyway, I think communication is one of the keys for me.
Hi. I think, as you mentioned, the thing about being in the beauty industry, you're not just an artist. You are your martyr sometimes, and that in pictures, and especially the way social media now is taking, with TikTok and Instagram, Instagram before it was just pictures. Now Instagram is requiring us to do videos. So marketing yourself is very important. Taking photos, even myself, sometimes I have to remind myself, take a photo, take a quick video. And if it's not, as you mentioned, right, Courtney Findall, you said, is not really, you struggle to take photos and stuff like that, correct? So, even finding an assistant, I sometimes have assistants that assist me as well. Finding an assistant, hey, how much do you charge me? Let's say you do wigs, you said? So let's say, how much do you charge me an hour to just come and record me doing this wig? Or how much do you charge me to take some photos? But as mentioned, there's so many great resources out there, even myself for marketing, even video editing. I turn to YouTube, I turn to TikTok. I work with photographers and videographers. Sometimes I do try work. Hey, I'll do a pre-makeup service for you, and they teach me how to use this program to edit my videos. So marketing, it is very important. I highly recommend it. If you want to try yourself, try looking at TikTok videos, how to even use your phone. Oftentimes I'm reaching to my phone. Yeah, well, I think we are, as being in the beauty industry, we are walking advertising for our business, and if, as mentioned, just connect with someone. Sometimes even you have to invest in your career, right? You have to invest in your business. Even for me, sometimes I do collaborations, I do trade work. You could even offer someone a free wig. Are you in the lady department, cosmetology department? You have a whole my work in a Google browser. You could say, hey, I'll bring a wig. Can you let me install it on you? It's a give and take, right? Would you be my model? And I'll bring my wig. I'll put it in you. I'll install it in you. And then I know Laney has amazing makeup artists that I met through Miss Thomas. And just ask someone else, can you do the makeup? Also the photographer department, it's a great resource that I utilized when I was a student in the cosmetology department. I talked to Frank. I used to work a lot with Frank, be like, hey, Frank, sometimes I know that they have photo shoots. Just be like, hey, Frank, just go talk to the photographer department. Would you be interested to take some professional photos of my products? I'll bring in a model, and same thing, talk to one of your classmates or a friend. Also, email just done. Would you make me to install a wig? You have someone to do makeup if makeup is not your thing. And you take her to the photographer department, and it's a win-win. The students get to take photos, and you have a portfolio and full professional photos that you could upload on your Instagram or website. You're welcome.
Even if it might seem ugly, dumb, stupid, or whatever, that's how I feel about my content sometimes. You just have to post it, even if somebody might say something negative. I just got my first paid sponsorship, so now I get paid to post on Instagram. I get paid to post on TikTok, and it's something that never in a hundred years that I imagined. And my videos when I first started, I can't even look back because they're so cringy and they're so awkward. Thank you, but because I made those videos, a couple years ago, I've gone to travel to me, pay for the read. Now I get paid to post on Instagram, man. It's hard for me to sit in little videos that only I enjoyed watching, but you start posting now in a year or two, maybe you could be doing wigs for Nicki Minaj or whoever. Like, honestly, the possibilities are endless, and anybody that's in here and wants to start a business, post about it. Whatever you're doing, post about it. Even you post about it, your business, like, it will help you. That's where we are now, is posting online is more part of that. Anything that else I remember right now.
Thank you so much. I would say it very much from the employment services sector at Lady College, and we put on these types of events, career education events, and it's celebrating women and anything else. We'll celebrate anything.